Well, welcome. Now, I'm trying out a new microphone. See how it goes. I'll probably have to do some changes. But let me know what you're thinking. Can you hear me? Be good if you could. And if you can't, just let me know. So, I have reached 300. So I thought what I'd do this morning is just run through my gear, my thoughts on how I got here. So, what have I got? Right. We have the Harlequin's Crest. And I run a triple on cooldown reduction. You can see with a sort of orange number. It's a GA to armor, which is quite handy really. But not the GA to cooldown reduction. A GA and cooldown reduction would have been perfect, but you know, there we go. And I put in Nagu Cax, which means maintain at least one active summon for 5. And cast another skill consumes all of your primary resources to give you 100% damage for a second, and that's pretty much 100% of the time. Then we got Shroud of False Death. I was lucky enough to get a GA on all stats, which was perfect, and a triple on all stats. And here I got Neo Set, avoid damage for 2 seconds, and you can have some companions, some wolves, which is up pretty much 100% of the time. Then I have some gauntlets, max life, crit strike damage and core, triple GA, lucky enough. I hit a double in core and a single in max life, but decided I really hate the masterworking. So I didn't do any more. I left it like this. I could have done a triple in core skills and it would have frustrated the hell out of me trying to get it. So I didn't. I just took it the way it was. Then I put on barrier generation and Hydra damage. Then moving on into the pants, I have the Axial Conduit with a GA on damage reduction and resource gen. And I managed to get the triple on resource gen. The GA on damage reduction is quite handy, thank you very much. But the key here was getting the triple on resource generation and maximum resource. Perfect. Then I took a Flicker Step. There, Flicker Step. There we go. Attacks evades cooldown by 2.5. And if I do my here, you'll see it's 3-second cooldown. 2.5, that gives me a 0.5 second cooldown for my evade, which is damn good if you could get the latency below 100, then you're probably at or around permit evade. But usually I can't, so it is what it is. Here I managed to do oh, I think I just ran out of power in my headphones. So anyway, damage reduction to close is a double GA. What am I talking about? Well, what a rubbish. I had a single GA and it was damage reduction from close. This is each enemy evade reduces your active cooldown by 4, which is pretty damn good, pretty important. I got a double on damage reduction from close and a single and ultimate, and I was again happy with that because I didn't really want to get through all the ridiculous amount of masterworking if I wanted a triple on damage reduction. This worked perfectly for me, for what I wanted. I wasn't pit pushing, I was speed farming. Then I went for a wand and focus. So here, Intel, Max Life and Vulnerable I put on here. Then Hydra damage, and Hydras can have heads. 6 heads. And the same for here. 6 heads, so a total of 12 heads. And then Hydra deals 150% increased damage when per mana you have when summoned, so which means that you should have as much mana as you possibly can, which the Axial Conduit helps, and it gave maximum damage. Now, I had Hydra damage on both, and Hydras can have heads on both. Here, I put Vulnerable, and this one, I tried so many times to get a triple GA Intel cooldown lucky hit. But the GA on cooldown reduction is actually pretty important. This is one of the best, is the GA on cooldown reduction. If you had GA on Intel and lucky hit, that's okay, but the key here was cooldown reduction. And as the aspect, I put Storm Swell, which means that you've got increased damage while your ice armor is active, and your ice armor is pretty much active 100% of the time. Then we have the Ring of Starless Skies. Here, the most important is the GA on core skills, which I managed to get. After a couple of rolls, it wasn't the first time. I had to really work hard to be able to get this GA on core skills. And so I had a double on core skills and a single on attack speed. And again, I could have rolled and rolled and rolled till the cows come home. So I decided to just keep it the way it was. I was okay with core and attack speed. It would have been also okay with core and crit, but core and attack is fine. And then here on Tal Rasha, the key one was cooldown reduction. The other GA on Potent Warning is warding is okay, and then but the key is cooldown reduction. And I did really get a cooldown triple, and it took me an absolute age. And here the casting of Pyromancy, Shock or Frost gives you an extra 25, and you're pretty much doing that all the time, whether it be a Hydra or a Ball Lightning. So you're always have this at 25%. Then this is a key. The Hydra is now a core skill and summons 3 head, which attacks explode on impact. For each head above 3, it would have the Hydra. Instead, it grows larger and deals, in my case, 95. I do have 100, but because I had a double GA on Intel and Primordial Bindings, and I had a triple in Primordial Binding, I just did not want to re-roll this again. It's just such an annoying feature that the master working is the way it is. So that's the gear. For the spells, I used the Astral Pillar, which means that the enemies become vulnerable, which is why I had the vulnerable on my wand. And the catalyst was Smouldering Ember, which does burning damage. Fractured Core, which deactivates the resistance auras. Bloody Charm, which means you... No, I'm not answering you. The Astral Pillar, it's essentially you can execute non-boss enemies, anything with 20% below life. And the last one is Tranquil Stone to gain Unstoppable, which links in nicely with your Flicker Step. No, it doesn't actually. I'm talking a load of rubbish. Anyway, I was thinking of something else. Never mind. But anyway, this game, it grants you Unstoppable. That's the key. It grants you Unstoppable. So that's the spellcraft. For consumables, I always took the Resourcefulness to do the max resource and resource cost reduction. Gives you another 8% experience. Then Redimine, which gives me extra life. Sage's Whisper, which gains you intelligence. And Soothing Spices, which gains you all elements resistance and armor. These were the 3 that I took. Then moving on to the skill tree. General skill tree, focus being really on defensives, passives. Hydra being the top, because that's what you're always wanting. Up into Invoked Hydra. Well, let's just go through it. So you have fire. You can choose any one of these. Firebolt into Enhanced. Then these are all through contributions for the most part. So I didn't take any of these, but you got Devastation. Your max mana is increased. Potent Warding, Elemental Dominance. Then you put one into Teleport through into Simmering. Then Ice Armor into Simmering. These are all from, for the most part, from contributions from your gear. Then everything you possibly can into Hydra, into Invoked. Ice Blades into Invoked. Although I very rarely use that, so there's a possibility of taking these couple of points away. Then Familiar into Invoked. Primordial Binding, which you really need to put as much as you can into this, because it gives you the summon damage, movement speed, and mana regen. Mana Shield. Then Ball Lightning down into Wizard's Ball Lightning. Invigorating, and these only come from your Shroud of False Death. And Permafrost, Icy Touch, these come from the Shroud. Then Inferno, everything, 5 into Inferno. Taking your Supreme. Endless Pyre, Fiery Surge, Soulfire. This comes from Shroud. All of these come from Shroud. Then you've got Coursing Currents into Convulsions. And then your last but not least, Esu's Ferocity. Then for the Paragon, I had the starter board, well, the starter board with Tactician, just the absolute minimum, and then maxed out the Intel. And I took away resistances and armor as I went up in the Paragon levels, because quite frankly I didn't need them. I found that armor and resistances were unnecessary to a great degree in the levels that I was running to maximize the XP. So you'll find that I took a lot of these away. All of these just went where I had them at the beginning. I took them away towards the end because I had enough barrier gen to have a permanent barrier, so I didn't need a lot of these. So then I went into destruction and maxed out the dexterity. There's the dex there. Where's the dex? There. So maxed out the dexterity on the board, and then up into Searing Heat. Then for the third board, I had the Enchantment Master with Elementalist, which gives you 20 massive bonus to all the rare nodes. So you pick up the rare nodes. Then is in here, I picked up as much intel as I could to give me the maximum. I mean, it didn't have to be here, it could have been anywhere on the board, but I just maxed out within there. Then all the way up in Enchantment Master, I did keep the attack speeds. Then I went up into the Elemental Summoner board, and I had Conjurer. For every 5 intel, your conjuration skills gain 25.2 increased damage, so I maxed out the intel in this board. Can't see one that I missed. Then I went up into the attack speed and the conjuration cooldowns. Kept these. And then for the last board, it was I did a lot of different boards in this last board, but this one worked the best for me was Frigid Fate, and I put in Unleash, which grants bonus to the magic. So we have a lot of dex, non-physicals, vulnerable damages, which tied in with my vulnerable damage on the wand and the Horagic power. And again, I kept in the vulnerable damages up here for that reason. And I maxed out the intel on the board just to get as much intel as I could. So that's where I am. And that's how I got to where I am right now. So let's just run some. Take one of these. See if I can remember how to run some. Do something about 79. So starting off with I've got a half decent latency, so it should be okay. And spiders always seem to be a wee bit slow. No, I do trust my ice blades quite often, actually. Just spamming them whenever they become available. I'll go up and grab these. Don't really need them. But you know, I don't like spiders. And no, I don't always wait until my Hydra is at 100, my mana is at 100%. I just hit the button when it becomes available. And as you see, it's running through here quite nicely. So I'm just wondering in this new microphone if you're hearing all the tap 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 from the keyboard. I'll probably have to set up it a little bit better. This is just like the default settings. Yeah, I think I might, if I'm lucky, get this one. Nah, not lucky. Oh, there we are lucky. It's a wee bit slow, but you know, what have we got here? Bit of an amulet. Nothing else is worthwhile. You got a whole massive 8% chance to upgrade. So that's what was there. Movement speed. So that was a slow run. You know, a lot of my runs up to now, I did have quite a lot of help. I just found a party, and there was a lot of times that I could manage to get through, and that's full. Let's refresh. No, yeah, see, there are not so many people now. Everything's full. Well, you got a bar being at 300. See if anybody wants to run, or just sit here waiting for them. Thought they would want to run pits. I don't need anything here. We can help them out though. Bye. Yeah, I'll just help. There isn't really anything that I need here. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. Okay. Away we go. So they all disappeared. Let's see. See if anybody wants to play. There's only a couple of weeks left, so I'm sort of not surprised that there's nobody here. See if anybody needs some help. I guess what I could do, I could run some boards, because I did run a little. I think I've only got one left. For my, let's have a look. Scroll of Restoration. Because I've got, yeah, I got. I haven't done any hordes for quite a long time. It's a different sort of gameplay than running pits. Because I don't need to. Well, actually, I'm thinking I could probably run my walking build. Don't really need this one. In fact, this is a bit wasted in here. Walking's probably a better idea. But we'll see. So I guess you could actually say the only thing I'm after here is the that's Hellbone. We'll do a bit of Hellbone. Is the Scrolls of Restoration. All the rest doesn't really matter too much. Welcome. So just take care of yourself. "18 seconds to go." I got beard going after my beard foot. What shall we do? Bit of hellfire. Hellfire raining down upon us? Not a problem. Because as you see, my ice armor is up pretty much 100% of the time, giving me the barrier. And this is why I don't need quite as much resistance to walls and everything. But I think my walking build would have probably been better in here. I think I've just been bitten on my knee. Must be a mosquito or something in the house. Ooh, that's itchy as hell. Unbelievable. Absolutely nuts. I've got an anti-itch, so I just put that on. Takes a couple of minutes to work. But you know, it's a little cooler today outside. There was a bit of a thunderstorm last night. There's where am I going? There was a typhoon coming into Hong Kong, and we get Hong Kong's quite a long way away from where I am, but it still affects us up here because we get the tendrils. And sometimes it can be worse than others, depending on if it goes sort of up, down, across, whatever. What have we got here? Hellbone. Oh, let's do a little hellfire done in the Hellbone. My choices might be there, but you know, they're my choices. They're not really designed to forget what the best is from here. But these guys that are here with me seem to have a nice understanding of what's necessary. Oh, I see it's 11:36 for me, so it's almost lunchtime. So I guess lunch for me is in about 20 minutes time. So when I listen to the playback of this, I'll understand a little bit better about which settings I need to change to be heard a little better. Oh, we'll take him. That's the butcher. Gives us 75. Where is he gonna come? Like that? There we go. Oh, he's done already. I'm not even sure that was me. I didn't get across in time. I think that could have been one of the other guys. Shall I just stay here? Why do I need to go wandering all over the place? Just stay here and throw out my Hydras. Take it easy. I reckon there was a couple of us here. That would be easy peasy. Ether Lords. Elbow gain some. Sounds good to me. So I'm 99% looking at the mini map. Oh, there seems to be quite a lot of Hellborn coming. That's nice. Let's get back to the middle a bit. Seems to be a lot happening in this sort of left quadrant. And then just as I said that, something happened over here. Yeah. I remember a couple of seasons ago I had a Cataclysm Druid. That was fun. There was a pair of us. One of us used to stand here, one at the other side, and we just killed everything. The only time we moved away from our positions was if there was one of these. What the hell do you call them? These. Oh, it seems to be a nice amount of Hellborn. We might get a half decent number out of this. I think the most I ever got the Soul Spire, that's what I was meaning. So we only moved from our positions when we had some Soul Spires. And I think the most I've ever done was about 1300 ether. Next season they're going to change. Poof. Oh, a lot of bollocks. Number 9. At the beginning of the season, yes, these counters weren't working properly, which sort of annoyed me as well. It's such a simple thing. You know, why can't they just get them working? And I think that was one of the reasons I couldn't be bothered with the... because you never knew exactly where you stood. You didn't really know which wave it was, didn't know how much ether you had. It's just annoying. That took them, in my opinion, too long to fix. So it'll be interesting to see if they can get it right first time when Season 10 comes along. I'm sort of happy with this. I'm a little bit amazed that there's as many Hellbournes. So we'll take that one. Elite. Couple of elites. I don't think we're gonna break 1,000, but you know, it's still a half decent number. All these Hellbourne, maybe we will. I think we're actually going to break 1,000. I just come up with a load of rubbish, don't I? Well, this is what we're after. Look at that. I just should learn to be quiet, I think. Oh, somebody at 132 coming in. They won't, because they're here at the end, they won't get the full amount of ether. They'll only get a couple of ether. Right, done. Cool, that was nice and simple. We got some stuff. And I need this, because I need the, and I'll put the rest into here. Another tribute of refinement. Don't really need anything here, but, you know, apart from the scrolls of restoration. Well, that was a decent run. Right, let's let's see what we actually got. Shard of Barathil. Lockrins. Lockrins, it could be quite interesting next season. For quite a lot of builds. I don't know. No need. Nobody runs Oculus. No, all the rest of them are a load of rubbish. But I did get 2 more scrolls. Epic hooray. And a tribute of refine. I've got a lot of refinements now. Last season I used to run a lot of refinements because it was pretty good. You got 2,000 per run. But now with the new escalation dungeons, you can get as much as in there. And if you have an heraldic tomb every time, I found that I didn't really need Let's see if this works. Where are they? So this is a different game style. If I was running lesser dungeons, lesser pits I should say, then I would be much quicker through the pit. But here it's maximizing the kills. And then getting through to the boss as quickly as possible, because the boss does take a wee bit of time. And even though I sort of maximise this build for damage, it's a bit of a glass cannon, so you're a little bit more vulnerable. But I think with my sort of constant barrier, I should still be okay. Take a little bit of lethal. Always helps. Don't say no to any help you can get. Let's get in here. Okay, that's next floor. My latency is sort of on spiders, sort of up and down like a bloody yo-yo. Let's see if this is the right way. And I get pulled in, that's nice. I try to make sure that I hit a group with Inferno, because it gives you that added boost to your damage output. I'll take this little bunch here. There's always a bunch this side or the other side. Okay, that's blast wave, so we'll take a bit of the blast wave as well. And into this other way. H. You do have to pay attention. And there we go. So making sure Matt is here. Oh, let me in, let me in. Okay, so I am spamming almost every single thing when it comes available. My fingers get a workout, my left hand fingers get a workout on the 1, 2, 3, 4, but that's how I've got them set up. Now this is sort of, what, less than 5 minutes? I'm okay with that. And these guys should give a nice XP boost. As long as nobody dies. There we go. Well done. Almost lunchtime. $97, I'm not sure what this glyph level might be. Come on. Well, just let me know. Whatever. Should be able to run through these quite quickly. With any luck, I'll get 2 or 3 done for them. Your bats are running lower level pits quicker than higher level pits slower. The amount of XP that you can get at running a sort of, what are we, 79. We can run this in 90 seconds and run 2 or 3 of them in that same 5-minute period. Then the amount of XP that you get here is way bigger than running a 95. But if it's XP, if it's glyphs, then sometimes, yeah, you need to run the higher levels no matter what XP you get, because that's not your focus. Oh dear. It's glyphs. Okay, this is might be half decent. I'm going to be a little slower though. If I'm lucky, there might be about a 2-minute. Oh, I get. My latency is a bit high. When my latency gets sort of down to about 100, then running quicker is much easier. So I'm in awe of these people who can really do a perma evade. I just find it impossible. I can't spell the. Oh, I've got a whisper. We'll take the whisper. But I still like the teleport. It's one of the... I like being fast. I do think that in my quest to get to 300, being fast has definitely been an advantage. So next season I'll probably start with a sword, because I think that the Hydra is still going to be pretty powerful. The ball lightning looks interesting. Maybe one of the most powerful in next season. Obviously depending greatly on if you can find the Chaos Armor. That would be good for the build, and what that ends up being, I just don't know yet. But the Hydra is also going to be pretty powerful. And the Raven build from the Druid also looks pretty good. I think the next season is going to be extremely interesting. Come on. Very, very interesting next season. I think there's going to be a multitude of different builds. All of them being viable. Come on. I guess the class that's a bit left behind, unless they make a lot of changes, is going to be the rogue. Spiritborn also looks pretty good. The Spiritborn evade build looks interesting. That could be also a good speedrunning build. Anyway, I need to go. I need to go to lunch. So I'll just pick up this. What do I do? Amulets. Because I'll give it to my druid to open. I'll open these here because no need on the druid. Because in the druid we do need a two-hander. So intel damage. Absolute garbage anyway. Was a couple of runes and some other rubbish. Salvage the key. Don't need it. Right, so that's me for just now. I shall say goodbye, and I may be on this afternoon. Bye for now.